It's one of the most special places in Florida. The Everglades, a peaceful, swampy grassland and habitat to birds, tree crabs, even bottlenose dolphins, who didn't seem to be camera shy at all.
Oh, he's showing off for you. Yeah, woo!
We set out with the Everglades Day Safari to learn about a native species, just not this species.
See that swirl over there?
Boat Captain Aaron Bartlett took us deep into the mangroves.
Now, we are in the Everglades National Park, the 10,000 Islands area. Everything you see is all protected. See how the red mangrove has the roots that branch out? The natives call these trees a walking tree.
Bartlett's family has been in the area since the 1840s, long enough to see the area change.
The mangroves are essential to the outside islands and protecting the shorelines. But what we've seen here lately is they've encroached more and more inland.
Mangroves serve as an important barrier against storm surge, helping to protect our southwest Florida coastline. But now we're seeing mangroves move inland. Take, for example, this point near the Smallwood Historic Store in Chokoloskee, an area that you could once see the Gulf of Mexico visible for miles, now blocked by islands dominated with red mangroves.
So I've lived in South Florida for pretty much my whole life.
Everglades Day Safari guide Heidi Stacy says the mangroves are important because they serve as a nursery.
You know, when you think of all the commercially valuable species of fish that occur out in the Gulf of Mexico, this is where they spend the beginning of their life.
And now that they're moving inland?
You know, in areas where they wouldn't normally be growing, it's edging out other species. You know, animals are acclimating to this. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just different.
And the change is happening fast.
As you get into the big cypress, there are mangrove trees that are north of the Tamiami now, and that's fairly recent. We're talking in the last 20 years that change has really happened.
And so as sea levels are rising, the salt water is moving inland and upland, and that's creating new habitats that are good for the mangroves to be able to move in.
As global temperatures increase, there are also fewer hard freezes in Florida, allowing mangroves to migrate north.
It is change, right? And that change is always hard. So wherever mangroves are growing now that they weren't 50 years ago, something was there. And I think, got to sort of settle into the fact that what we're experiencing on the planet right now is a time of real change. Part of that will be mangroves will be places that they weren't before, but I think mostly they'll be places where we need them to be.
In the Everglades National Park, meteorologist Lauren Hope, NBC2.